The figure below shows the street map for a certain region with the street intersections marked A through L. Fine. So we have, let's look at this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So there are 12 intersections here. A person standing at an intersection can see along straight lines to other intersections that are in her line of sight, and all other people standing at these intersections. Remember, from you're standing at E, you can see I, A, F, G, H. If you're standing at B, we should be able to see F, J, A, C, D, and G, straight lines. For example, a person standing at intersection G can see all the people standing at B, C, E, F, H, and K. In particular, the person standing at intersection G can see the person standing at intersection E irrespective of whether there is a person standing at F. So from here, I can see this even if there is somebody standing here. Wonderful. So it's in a straight line, I can see. Maybe I'll shift a little bit and see, but I can see. Whoever is standing on that straight line, on that road, I can see, even if there is a person bang in between. Wonderful. 6 people, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, are standing at different intersections. No 2 people are standing at the same intersection. The following additional facts are known. X, U, and Z are standing at 3 corners of a triangle formed by the 3 street segments. Triangle. Only triangles formed are here and here. So straight away, this is referring to either BCG or BFG. These 3, X, U, Z, are at BCG or BFG. X can see only U and Z. X can see U and Z. That we know because they're standing at 3 corners of a triangle. Can see only U and Z. Very important. Cannot see anyone else. Y can see only U and W. Okay, good. U sees V standing in the next intersection behind Z. So there's a U, V, Z straight line. Either like this or like this. Vertical or horizontal. It could be left to right. It could be top to bottom, right to left. Doesn't matter. U, V, Z is a straight line. W cannot see V or Z. And W cannot see V or Z. I'm not going to work with this because this is a negative constraint, who he can see. No one among the 6 is standing at intersection D. So D we can rule out. And so how are we going to work with this? I like constraint 1 because it gives 3 in 3 vertices. There are 2 possibilities, but there's still only 2. Then X and U are already in, and Z is also in, and we incorporate V also, the straight line idea. So using constraint 1 and 4, we can create possible outlines for 4 out of the 6. Then the other 3 will use the other constraints, 2, 3, and 5. 6 is obvious to incorporate. And so think about this. This marks are a diagram. I'm going to think about X, U, Z at BFG or BCG. And remember, X, U, Z or X, U, Z in some order. And I'm going to think about U and Z because there is going to be a V behind it. And so you could have U, Z and V, but remember there's nobody at D. Right away that is ruled out. So we could have a U, Z, V. If you're thinking about BCG or U, Z, V, but U and Z cannot be at B and G. Okay. Now let's go to BFG. You could have U, Z, V. We could have U, Z, V or U, Z, V. The U, Z, V can be along this axis for the triangle BCG. For BFG, it can be along this axis. It can be along this axis and this axis for BFG. Using X, U, Z, V, we are somehow managing 5 different possibilities. And I'm going to go step by step. and incorporate those 5 possibilities. Let's break it down. The triangle could be the BCG triangle or the BFG triangle. So nobody is standing at D. That's the easy part. Between this and this, we could draw some possibilities with BCG triangle, some with BFG triangle. I'm going to pick one of the two triangles, draw all possibilities, then go to the other triangle methodically. And so let's say we pick a BFG. Right? So we could have UZV like this, UZV like this, and UZV like this. UZV, UZV, and UZV. We cannot have UZ the other way around. There's no room for V this side. And so left to right, bottom to top, top to bottom. Right? So 3 possibilities here using the triangle BFG as XU said. Right? Brilliant. Now we know that X can see only U and Z. That means if you look at this possibility, X is here. There's nobody here, nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. X can see beyond Z also, remember. Now here is nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. X were here, nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. Brilliant. So we incorporate that constraint also and we get to this point. X can see only U and Z. What other constraint do we have? We see that Y can see only U and W. W cannot see V or Z. Y can see only U and W. There's U here. That means U can see W. This is U. This can be W. Y should be able to see U and W. So U should be able to see Y and W. That's not possible. From here, there's only one option available. Is ruled out. Wherever we put Y here, Y cannot see U. If Y can see U, that means U should be able to see Y. And so U is seen by X, U, Z, Y, all of them. Right? Y can see only U and W. W cannot see V or Z. Y can see only U and W. Okay, got it wrong. Y can see U. U need not be able to see W. So this could be Y. And Y can see only U and W. That means this should be W. This is the only other place Y can see. But if you put W here, then W can see V. That's not possible. But W should not be able to see V or Z. So if we put Y here, only place for W is here, then W will end up seeing V. That's not possible. Let's go to the next one. Y can see only U and W. So Y can see only U and W. So from U, there are 2 places that can be seen. If Y were here, then Y can see Z and V also. That's not possible. If Y were here, Y can be here. Y should be able to see U and W. So W should be either here or here. Now W, if it were here, W will be able to see V. W cannot see V and Z. W should be here. But this is a possibility. ZV, XU, UZV like this, X like this, Y here, W here. Y can see only U and W. UZV on a straight line. X can see only Z and U. W cannot see V or Z. So this works. We have a winner. Next possibility. In this sequence, let's see. Y can see only U and W. From U, this side, nothing is available here. If Y were here, then Y would be able to see Z and V also. That's not possible. So this possibility is also ruled out. So only one possibility exists. With X at BFG, these two are ruled out. Only this exists. Now let's put XUZ to be at BCG. Remember? BCG. You can have UZV like this. You cannot have UZV downstairs because nobody is here. We could have UZV along this straight line left to right. We cannot have right to left because we cannot accommodate V this side. So now we have only 2 possibilities. Brilliant. So we know that again X cannot see anyone other than U and Z. So let's use that. So if X is here, U and Z can see nobody here, nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. And we still need to accommodate Y and W, remember? And if X were here, nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. We still need to accommodate Y and W. Now, let's go to this constraint. Y can see only U and W. From U, Y should be able to see U. There's no possibility here. If U were here, there's no available slot here, no available slot here. Nothing else is opened up. So this is not possible. U here, nothing opened up here, nothing opened up here. Again, this is not possible. Both of these are not possible. That means we have just this one glorious possibility, XZU at that BFG triangle, and then Y and W here. So XZU, UZB in a straight line like this, Y and W like this. Now let's jump to the questions. The question should become very simple. Who's standing at intersection A? Intersection A, there's no one. Who can V see? V is here. Who can V see? We can see Z and U. We cannot see X. We cannot see Y. We cannot see W. U and Z only. Done. What is the minimum number of street segments that X must cross to reach Y? X is here. Y is here. Minimum number 1, 2. It doesn't have to go like this 3 steps. 2 steps will do. 2 is the correct answer. Once you've got the grid, and there's only one grid in this answer, then these questions become far simpler. Should a new person stand at intersection D, who among the 6 would she see? Intersection D, the new person. Who would she see? She would definitely see X. She would see W. She cannot see U, Z, V or Y. She will see X and W. W and X only. That is the right answer. Nice. Let's attack widget supplier. Every day a widget supplier supplies widgets from warehouse to 4 different locations. Ahmednagar, Bikrampore, Chitrachak and Deccan Park. ABCD. Nice. The daily demand for widgets in each location is uncertain and independent of each other. Nice. Completely different from each other. Demands and corresponding probability values in parentheses are given against each location A, B, C, D in the figure below. Let me look at the figure below. Okay, 40% chance this is 50, 60% chance of 70, 30% chance of 40, 70% chance of 60, 30% chance of 70. Nice. So only 2 possibilities, not multiple. And 2 numbers, 2 probabilities add up to 100. There's no 1 minus this being something else. Rather simple, 2 possibilities only. For example, there's a 40% chance of this and a 60% chance of that. Yeah, we understand that. The lines in the figure connecting the locations and warehouse represent 2-way routes connecting these places with distances in kilometers shown beside the line. The distances in both directions along the road are equal. Yeah, so it's not like from Borivali to Kandivali it takes 15 minutes. From Kandivali to Borivali it takes 25 minutes because of one way. So it's not like that. And so, for example, the road from Ahmednagar to Bikrampore and the road from Bikrampore to Ahmednagar are both 6 kilometers long. These are all 2-way roads. You can go this way or this way, and the distance is same, 5 kilometers both ways. Nice. Got to be some algorithm rules. Every day the supplier gets the information about the demand values of the 4 locations and creates a travel route that starts from the warehouse and ends at a location after visiting all the locations exactly once. W, A, B, C, D or D, B, C, A. All locations exactly once. While making the route plan, the supplier goes to the locations in decreasing order of demand. Maximum demand, he goes first. If there is a tie for the choice of the next location, the supplier will go to the location closest to the current location. Understandable. I go from A, I have a choice of going to C and B, both are equal. I'll go to the one which is nearer. If the demand is same, demand is my first criteria, then proximity. Also, while creating the route, the supplier can either follow the direct path from one location to another or can take the path via the warehouse. So, from W I can go to A, from A I can go directly to B or A, W, B if that is shorter. If both paths are available, direct and via warehouse, the supplier will choose the path with minimum distance. Nice. So let's look at this. So from here, I can go to B, I can go to C, I can go to D, I can go to A. I can go from W to A and W to A to B. That's allowed. So all combinations are allowed. I got confused in one part. I wanted to know whether I could go from A. If I want to go from A to B, I can go via 5 and 10. I want to know whether I could go from C to A via B. I don't think that's possible. You can either take the direct route or go via the warehouse. You cannot go via another warehouse. So CBA as a route of going to A is possible, but I have to do only CWA. One warehouse to another, one distributor to another, one location to another. I can either go directly or via the warehouse. I cannot go via another location. And in real life, that's also done. Right? Nice. If the last location visited is Ahmednagar, then what is the total distance covered in the route in kilometers? And so, last distance is Ahmednagar, 70 and 50. First of all, the numbers wise 70 and 50, this is 170, this is the largest. Every chance that you will start with C. Right? And then move to one of the others, because that is 40 and 60. 70 and 100 are both greater than 40 and 60. 30 and 50 are both lower than 70 and 100. I have to visit C before B and D, either way. And A could be 70 or 50. You are ending with Ahmednagar. If Ahmednagar were 70 and this were 70, you would start with Ahmednagar. And so clearly, we are not starting with Ahmednagar, we are ending with Ahmednagar. So the C value should be higher, either 70 or 100. And straight away I can say, look, I'm only calculating the distance. I want to end with Ahmednagar. So let's assume he goes to C first at 70. He has to take a decision. He could go to B, 60 or 40, or A or D, depending on which is the next number. If this were 70 or 100, it doesn't matter. If I had A could not be 70, because if A were also 70, C were also 70, from arrows we will go to A first. So A is definitely not 70. And so C could be 70 or 100, he starts with that and then he says, okay, where do I go? I need to go to B or D, depending on which is higher. If that were 40 and this were 50, I would go to D. If this were 50 and that were 50 and 40 remaining, I would do C, D, A, B. Via arrows or without via arrows. I don't end with A. Which is the pain point for me. Then I'll say, okay, maybe from C, he'll go to B first. Make that 60. And then from B, he has to decide between A and D. Right? A is 50. If you want to end with A, next step has to be D. If the next step were D, D would be 50. A and D are both 50. If he's sitting at B and he has to choose between A and D, then this is 10 plus 2, 12. That is 6. He'll end up going to A first. I have a problem. I have a big problem. I will start with C. After that, if I happen to go to D, my next stop has to be B. I'm in trouble. After that, if I happen to go to B, my next stop has to be, from C, if I go to D, my next stop has to be A. Because if I've gone to D, that means this is only 40. Next stop has to be A. CDAB is a possible route. If I go from C to B, then CBAD is a possible route. CBDA is not possible. CBDA is not possible. I have to start with C. My next one can be B or D. Either case, the one after that has to be A. It's either CBAD or CDAB. I simply cannot end this tour with Ahmednagar. Super peeved. When I saw this, when I did this elaborate solution to say that, hey, our men, our people, our folks who are dabbling in this got this question wrong. And so this question is wrong. There is no correct answer. There is no way you could have any scenario where you end with A. Not possible. If you're ending with A, then A is 50. A cannot be 70. If A is 70, then you could start with A. Right? So, A being 70 is ruled out. A could have been 70 and C could have been 100. In which case it would have been CA. Therefore, I am ruling out 70. C at 100, A at 70. I'll go from C to A. So it will be CA. I don't want to do that. I want to end with A. There is no way you can end with A. And the moment I know that, I'm super peeved because this question says the last location visited is Ahmednagar. So this question is an incorrect question. So another thing to keep in mind, there could be incorrect questions. If I got this set, I'm dead because I'm spending 4, 5, 6 minutes trying to figure this set out. Then I'm dumping this because I'm not getting the first question right. I won't have the courage to go to question number 2. And that's some of the things that we don't factor in. We say one question wrong, big deal. No, one question messes with my mind. Because 1 of 5. I spent 4, 5 minutes digesting this. And then I jump in and try to solve. And then I get, this is a super contradiction sitting there. Even if I get to the right answer, that is wrong. And because they have given some other thing as the right answer, I can live with it. But I'm messed up. Right? Here I stop and say, something is wrong. I made a mistake. I keep trying again and again. I dump the whole set and go to the next one. Which is why it's a big pain to get questions like this wrong. Such is life. I'm going to go to the next question. I'm not going to say why it could have been whatever 35. What I think they did was they did C, B, D, A or some such thing. 4 and then 10 plus 2, 12. 12, 16, 26, 28 plus 8. 28 plus 7, 35. CBDA is what they did and came to 35. But hey, CBDA is wrong. So I'm not going to see why it could have been 35. Forget about that. The total number of widgets delivered in a day is 250 units. What is the total distance covered in the route? 250 is a total number. Let's see, we could add 50 or 70, 40 or 60, 70 or 100, 30 or 50. I love adding the higher numbers and lower numbers. And so 70 plus 50 is 120, 220, 280. The highest is 280. The lowest 50 plus 40, 90, 160 plus 30, 190. Here at 250, so closer to this. So I'm going to think about maximum and then stepping down. Right? So instead of having 70 at A, 60 at B, 100 at C, and 50 at D, I step down somewhere. From here it's 30 units down. Right? So instead of 70, if I have a 50, 70 or 50 is minus 20. 60 or 40 it's minus 20, 100 or 70 it's minus 30, 50 or 30 it's minus 20. I need to do a minus 30. If I go from 100 to 70 it's a minus 30. Is there any other possibility? The other 3 are all minus 20. If I do 2 minus 20s I go to a minus 40. If I do only one I stay at a minus 20. The only way possible is to see where at 70 or my total should be 70, 60, 70, 50. 130, 200, 250. That's my combination. So the total number of widgets is 250. Then I'm delivering 70 here, 60 here, 70 here, and 50 here. So now my method becomes simpler. Where do I go? I go from W to A or C. Therefore, I go to A because A is closer. W to A is 5 kilometers. From A, I then go to C. I cannot do AC. I have to do AWC. From W, A, C. So I've delivered to A, I've delivered to C. I have 60 and 50 remaining. I have to go to B. From C, I go to B, which is nice. From B, I have to go to D. I have to go via W. B, W, D. My total distance traveled, WA is 5. And then another 5. So 5, 5, 12, 4, 10, 2. 10, 22, 26, 36, 38. WA, W, C, B, W, D. 5, 10, 22, 26, 36, 38. Once you find the numbers, then the addition part becomes simpler. What is the chance that the total number of widgets delivered in a day is 260 units and the route ends at Bikrampore? 260 is a friendly number because I already knew this. I added the totals, which is 70, 60, 50, 100, the maximum possible. 130, 180 is 280. And I have a 260. And so I'm doing a 260 units. That means I'm 20 short. That means my 20 shots could have come at A or D or B. And so I end at Bikrampore. So Bikrampore, both of these are less than 60. So if I'm ending at Bikrampore, if Bikrampore were at 60, then I'm in trouble. I won't end at Bikrampore, I'll end at D. That means Bikrampore should have been 40. Done. So I'm looking at this 60 number becoming 40 for my total to become 260. And so I'm doing 70, 40, 50, 100. And so this should be 100, 70% chance of that happening. This should be 70, 60% chance of this happening. This should be again 50, which is 60% chance of that happening. That should be 40, 30% chance of that happening. 70 into 60 into 60 into 30. 60 into 30 is 18%, 70 into 60 is 42%. 42% into 18%. 18 to 36, 6, 3, 18, 4, so 72, 72 plus 3, 75. Should be 7.56%. Just this. Lovely question. Just we need to find out the root. Because it's 260 is rather comfortable because I know the sum of all totals is 280. So I'm 20 short. So either A, B or D should be short. If A or D were short, then B would have to be at 60. If B is at 60, then I have to go to B before D. Bikrampore has to come before D. And I can't work with that. I need to end with Bikrampore. So Bikrampore has to be 40. That means the other two have to be higher. If the first location visited from the warehouse is Ahmednagar, nice, that means this 100 is ruled out. And this has to be 70. Done. What is the chance that the total distance covered in the route is 40 kilometers? That means I know one part of the route. My one part of the route is 5, 5, 12. I will be at C. From W, I start and do W, A, W, C. This I am doing, covering A and C. This is done. So my first location is A, so I go to A, then I cover C. That much is clear. So 5 plus 5, 10 plus 12, 22. I'm 22 kilometers done and I'm right here. Only now my first decision comes. These two are already taken care of. I have to have had Ahmednagar at 70 and whatever my C is at 70. That is done. That's not part of the probability. Now I'm here at 22. I could either be forced to do a DB or a BD. And so a DB would be 4, 10 to 16 kilometers. A BD would be that. A DB would be 6 to 10, which is 18 kilometers. So I am definitely doing a DB. After coming here, I am doing a DB, not a BD. If I did a BD, it would be 4 plus 10, 14 plus 2, 16 kilometers, taking me to a total of 38. If I did a BD, it would be 6 plus 2 plus 10. It is 18 kilometers, 22 plus 18 is 30. So I am doing WAC DWB, or D should be higher than B. How is that possible? D cannot be 30 and B cannot be 60. It has to be 50 and 40. Nice, worked out rather well for us. So it is 50 and 40, 60% into 30%, 18%. That's our answer. Done. Beautiful question. Some element of probabilistic thinking layered on top of what you already have. The one part that we already have is we are covering A and C first. So WA, WC, warehouse to A to warehouse C. I'm standing there. Till here, my route is set. There's no probability and all that. From here, I need to have 18 more kilometers. If I do CBWD or CDWB, only one of these two is 18. What are the odds that will happen? That's it. That's all I need to compute. If Ahmednagar is not the first location to be visited in a route, and the total route distance is 29 kilometers. If Ahmednagar is not the first, then that means we are starting with C. That much I know. So that means C is, then which of the following is a possible number of widgets delivered on that day? We're starting with C, just 12 is done. Right? That 12 is done. And I have 17 more kilometers to do. Right, from C, I could do a BAD, 4 plus 6, 10 plus 17, 19. So from C, I could end up doing a BAWD. This will be 17 kilometers. That's a possibility. Fine. From C, I will not go to D because this 30 and 50. I could end up going to D because this could be 50, that could be 50, that could be 40. Yeah, that's possible. But let's calculate the distance. If I go to D, my next step should be A and then B. 6 plus 8, 14 plus 6, 20. That's not working. Right. From C, I could be forced to go to B, A, W, D. That's a possibility. From C, I could go to A directly. Next step. From C, W, A, 12 plus 5 is 17. I'm already dead. So my next stop is not A. That I know because I'm traveling only 29 kilometers. W to C is set. The next step where A, I'm done. I'm in trouble. The next step is not A. That means A is not 70. A is only 50. That much I know. A has only 50 in it. Right? From C, I could be forced to go to between D and B. Next step. If this were 50, D could be 50, B could be 60. If I went to 60 here, then I would go to 50 here before coming here. C, D, A, W, D. C, B, A, W, D. That's a possibility. One beautiful possibility. Or I could start with C, be forced to go to D because this is 50 and that is 30. This is 6 plus 8 plus 6, that becomes 20. That's not the case. So my possibility is this. I am going in the route C, B, A, W, D. C, B, A, W, D. So after C, I go to B. A is 50. This could also be 50. I'm going to B. That means B should be 60. And then I finally end up at D. D could be 30 or 50. And so what do I know for sure of A, B, C, D? I know A has 50 for sure. B has 60 for sure. C could be 70 or 100. D could be 30 or 50. Which of the following is a possible number of widgets delivered on that day? Let me find the minimum, let me find the maximum, then we'll figure out. 50, 60, 70, 30. 30 plus 70 is 100. 150, 210. Minimum is 210. Maximum 50, 60, 110, 210, 210 plus 50, 260. Plus 30 plus 20. 210 is available, then that's the answer. It cannot go below 210, is out. We cannot go to 250, not possible. 220, not possible. Maybe swapping 30 with 50 could take us to a 230. 70 with 100 could take us to a 240. But these three are not possible. This is possible. Done. Brilliant. It's an area which are connected by streets as shown below. 4 teams, team 1, team 2, team 3 and team 4 patrol these streets continuously between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. The teams need 30 minutes to cross a street connecting one police station to another. So to go from here to here, they'll take 30 minutes. To go from here to here, they'll take 30 minutes. This way, 30 minutes. The streets are bi-directional. It is not being told anything about that. A to B, B to A, both are possible. All 4 teams start from A at 9 o'clock. They must return to station A by 12 o'clock. They can also pass via station A at any point on their journeys. Yeah, assuming. Otherwise, you go to B and then you park there. So it's like A, C, D, E, F, A, B, A, C, some circle like this, they're all doing. The following facts are also known. None of the streets has more than one team traveling along it in any direction at any point of time. So we cannot have 2 patrol teams going from A to B. We cannot even have 2 patrol teams, one going from A to B, one going from B to A at the same stretch of 30 minutes. That's not a done thing. Teams 2 and 3 are the only ones in stations E and D at 10 o'clock. Teams 1 and 3 are the only ones in station E at 10:30. Both of them at station E at 10:30. 1 and 4 are the only ones in B and D respectively at 11:30. This is also respectively at 10 o'clock. Team 1 and Team 4 are the only teams that patrol the street connecting stations A and D. Team 4 never passes through B, D or F. So the constraints I like that I want to capture are this 10 o'clock constraint, because 9 to 10 is only 2 travel legs, 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10. And you've been told where they are, you should be able to nail where they are. Another one that I like is the 11:30 one. If I know where they are at 11:30, I know my last leg. They're back at A at 12. So 11:30 to 12 is fixed. It's not going to help me solve the whole process,
but it's a nice anchor. I know my last point is A, last but one point for two fellows I know. The one I really love is this one. Starts at A, ends at A. So leaving out A, there are only two other places he goes to. Three of them have been eliminated. B, D, F are eliminated. Only C and E he goes to. A, C, E. So only these three places he goes to. Okay. If you look at the grid, A, C is this side, A, E is this side. There's no link between C and E. So either goes A, C, C, A, A, E, E, A, A, C, C, A, A, E, E, A. That's all he does. Our man goes up and down, right and left, up and down, right and left. That's all he does. Team 4, not our man, our team. That I like again. So what I'm going to start with this. Start at 9 o'clock, must return to station A by 12 o'clock. Each of them has 6 different legs. Each leg is half an hour. So one team could go this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could do A, C, D, E, A, F, A. So 6 different travel legs they have. Right. They start and end at A. The constraint that we like at team 2 and 3 are the only ones in E and D respectively at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, team 2 is here. At 10 o'clock, team 3 is there. Now, team 2 reaches at 10 o'clock after 2 legs. So, A, C, E is not possible. A, B, E is not possible. You can't even go to D. So, team 2 must necessarily have said, I go this in the first leg, travel this in the second leg to reach E. Team D, team 3 reaching D could have been A, C, D or A, E, D. One of these two. A, C, D or A, E, D. 2 options are there for reaching D. A, C, D or A, E, D. 2 options are there. But for team 2, there's only one option. A, F, E. Nothing else is possible. Now, A, E, E, D, teams 1 and 4 are the only teams that patrol the streets AE. This, only 1 or 4. So, team 3 could not have taken the AED route. So, team 3 necessarily went from AC, CD, team 2. This is team 2, this is team 3. Nice. Now team 4 therefore never passes through B, D or F, traveling only to C and D. The moment it starts, team 3 is going to C, team 4 would have gone to E and come back. Nice. Now I'm getting a sense that I need to have a table like this to simplify life. 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12. They all come back to A. So this is A. Team 2 has necessarily done AFE. Team 3 has done ACD. Team 4 has done AEA. Because couldn't have gone to C, only AEA. Teams 1 and 3 are the only ones in station E at 10:30. Teams 1 and 3 are at station E at 10:30. So this is E, this is E. This is not E. Teams 1 and 4 are the only ones in B and E respectively at 11:30. 1 is at B. And 4 is at E. Nicely done. Now straight away I can make a couple of more inferences. Team 4 has gone E to A. Before that should have been A to E. AE, AC, AEA is team 4 journey. But this should have been A, this is not E, should have been C. Done through. Let's go step by step. Team 1 and 4 are the only teams that patrol the street connecting A to E. We've kept that in mind. Nobody could have done A to E. So from E here, team 2 could not have gone to A sorry, from F is gone to E, from E could not have gone to E, that is obvious, I don't even have to write this. Let's look at team A, team 1. Team 1 are the only ones at 10:30 at E, at 11:30 here. How could team 1 have gone there? Teams 2, 3, 4 have gone to FCE. FCE. So team 1 would have had no option but to go to B and then back to A. They couldn't have taken the same route. A, B, A, E. A, B, A, E. And then goes back via B. So team 1 does A, B, A, E. Last leg is from B to A. So from E should have been back to A. E, A, A, B, A. Team 1 completely fills itself. Nothing to worry. Right? From A, when we started, the 4 guys should have gone on 4 different routes, the starting point. And so they go to B, F, C, E. Very much like that. The last leg should have been B, F, C, E. So one of these 2 guys should have come via C, other should have come via F. Now we know between teams 2 and 3, 3 is finding himself at E, could have done F, A or A, C, A. A, C, A. Could have done A, F, A, team 3, but nobody does. From E, D, C, A is also possible. D, C, A, that is possible. In which case this is C, this should be F. Team 2 is at E. Finishing with F, we need to think about F and C, which one comes here, which one comes here. I'm going to fill this in, recap this, and then attack that separately. Fill this, we fill this. Team 2 at 10 o'clock is at E. Could not have gone to D because ED is this side. Could not do EA because only 1 and 4 do EA. So this should have been F. So, lovely. We've got this far. Just have to finally finish this thing off. We know that the last point here, where all of them reach, finally they're all going to reach A at 12 o'clock. So they should have, these 2 are coming from B and E. The other 2 should come from C and F. So the end point is C/F, F/C. That's how they're reaching there. And so can F come from F, you're there, can you come all the way to A via C? From F, can you come via C? The only way is F-A, C-A. F-A, C-A. F-A, C-A. It's possible. Go to F-A, go to C, come back to A. It's possible. Here, team 3 is at E. Could this person reach via F? Cannot go to EA. That's not possible. EA is patrolled only by 1 or 4. Can go to D or F. Assume it comes to F. Then from F, you cannot go to C and come to A. That's not possible. Cannot go to A directly because there's one more step that is required. There are 3 legs sitting in here. So this could not have been F. If it becomes F, then I can never reach A in 2 steps. From F in 2 steps to A is F-E-A. EA is not possible for team 3. Or we know for sure that this could not have been F. So from E, I cannot go to A. I cannot go to F. I go to D, C, A. Only possibility. That means the guys, team 1, 3 and 4 are coming through B, C and D. This fellow should have come through F. So team 2 go from AF, EF, dash FA, AF, EF and then FA. This part could have been FE or FA. I'm just going to pause. If I put E here, FE, there's no EF possible. If I put A here, FA, there's no AF, that's also possible. So this could have been E or F and I could have still worked it out. And the whole thing is consistent either way. So let's look at this. E or A both work. Which one of the following stations is visited the largest number of times? D, C, F, E. So we forget this, we forget this. D is visited 1, 2 times. D is visited 2 times. C is visited once, twice, thrice. F once, no F, twice, thrice. Let's go to E. E happens once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's 5 or 6. Which is following is visited the largest number of times? E, clearly. How many times do the teams pass through station B in a day? Teams pass through station B in a day. 1, no B, 2 times. Which team patrols the street connecting stations D and E at 10:15 hours? This is this time between D and E. This, which is team 3. Done. How many times does team 4 pass through station E in a day? Team 4 once, twice, 2 times. How many teams pass through station C in a day? Station C is not at all touched by team 1, not by team 2. Team 3 touches it. Team 4 also touches it. Team 3 touches it twice. 2 teams. Done. Through. Airlines company, a new airlines company is planning to start operations in the country. The company has identified 10 different cities which they plan to connect through their network to start with. The flight duration between any pair of cities will be less than 1 hour. To start operation, the company has to decide on a daily schedule. The underlying principle that they are working on is the following. Any person staying in any of these 10 cities should be able to make a trip to any other city in the morning and should be able to return by the evening of the same day. And then we jump to question. And I'm going to spend some more time on this thread. The 10 cities. And the idea is you should be able to go from any one city to any other city and be able to return within the day. The time taken is less than 1 hour. For any flight from any place A to place B. And then we've not been given much else. We've not been told how many, what time it takes for each trip. We don't been told how many flights should be there, how should we operate. None of that. And so straight away, we know that you're not going to take this stem and solve and get a grid and a table and a graph and a chart, none of that. You're going to take all this information in 10 cities. Any trip less than 1 hour, leave in the morning, return in the evening. And the morning and evening is not defined. So you can start at 3 a.m. This flight time is less than 1 hour. It could be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, really short trips. So none of those scheduling things are going to be an issue. And you can have any number of morning flights, any number of evening flights, sequentially one after the other, doesn't matter. And you can go from A to B from 3 to 3:15, start from B to C, travel from 3:20 to 3:45, 3:50 to 4:10. Any of those things he's saying is possible. He's not constraining us in any way. So technically, you could hop 6 flights in the morning alone to go from A to B. And so that's something to keep in mind because he's not given us a flight duration. He's not given us any constraint. And so pretty much going to jump to questions and then start answering them. And there are 4 questions. The underlying principle is to be satisfied in such a way that the journey between any 2 cities can be performed using only direct flights and the minimum number of direct flights to be scheduled. It's a wonderful question. A reasonably easy question as well. And so I'm going to go question by question. I'm going to assume you have read this. I'm going to go to question number 1. Here, we know that there are 10 cities. So think about this. There's city number. There are 10 cities, city 1, 2, 3, and so on. And so 10 cities from where we have to work this up. And then we have to schedule these 10 cities onto the, sorry, I'm just trying to poke around and try to fix this wire here. There are 10 cities here. We need to find a way of going from any city to any other city and returning within that time. Right? So that's what that's our challenge. We want to find only direct flights. And so think about this. If you want to find only direct flights and you want to find 10 cities which you go on and off. So from any two cities, A and B, you want to connect. So think you're going to try correct A and B. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to get away with the mouse and then try to fix this. You have A and B. Say we want to cover A and B. Then we need to have a flight from A to B and a flight from B to A. Not just that, we have to have a flight from A to B in the morning, B to A in the morning, and then A to B in the evening, B to A in the evening. So suppose you want to go from A to B in the morning and return from B to A in the evening, you need to be able to give that possibility. And the other way around, traveling from B to A and then back to B. So any two cities will have to have 4 direct flights between them. And so how many ways can you pick two cities from 10? 10, C, 2. 10 into 9 by 2, that is 45. 45 into 4, 180. Number of ways of selecting two cities out of 10 is 10C2. Once you've selected, you've got two cities. Now you're going to find a mechanism to connect these two cities both ways, on in the morning, back in the evening. That's what we're looking to do. And so both ways, off in the morning, back in the evening. So A to B, B to A in the morning, A to B, B to A in the evening. 4 flights need to be there connecting any two cities out of these 10. You can select 2 cities out of 10 in 10C2 ways or 45 ways. 45 into 5 into 4, 180 flights are required, direct flights. Easier question. Say the next one. Read this. I'm going to give you some time, but try that out and then we'll discuss that. Just poking around because my digital pen is misbehaving. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a mechanism, and we are back. Wonderful. Sorry about that. Tech glitches do happen. So read this. I'm going to discuss this as well. Once again, there's no grid to solve. So it's only each question they're going to solve step by step. Suppose 3 of the 10 cities are to be developed as hubs. A hub is a city which is connected with every other city, but direct flights each way, both in the morning as well as in the evening. The only direct flights which will be scheduled are originating and or terminating in one of the hubs. Then the minimum number of direct flights that need to be scheduled so that the underlying principle of the airline to serve all the 10 cities is met. So the underlying premise is if you have P and Q, 2 cities, you should be able to go from P to Q in the morning and return from Q to P in the evening. And you should be able to go from Q to P in the morning and return from P to Q in the evening. That's the underlying principle. Right? So that is what we want to meet in all kinds of combinations. Right? But here we're going to take a detour. We're going to say, look, forget the underlying principle. Here we are talking about some hubs. Right? Suppose 3 of the 10 cities are to be developed as hubs. These are the hubs A, B, and C. So flights go out from A, B, C. Many flights go from A, B, and C. So they are the starting points, and then flights go out from there, and then they come back here. I don't know how many are going to go, and it's an arbitrary number of flights in and out. Right? Now let's look at all the conditions that are given. The only direct flights will be scheduled are originating and or terminating in one of the hubs. So apart from ABC, if you have a P and Q, there's no direct flight from P and Q. That is clear. And a hub is a city which is connected with every other city, but direct flights each way, both in the morning as well as in the evening. So let's just figure out what this means. Let's say the 3 hubs are A, B, and C. Let's forget all connections between A, B, C. We'll come to that later on. A has to be connected to 7 cities. B to 7 cities, C to 7 cities, the other 7, the non-hub 7 cities. To each of these 7 cities, A should be connected both ways in the morning and the evening. So there are a flight, there is city P, there has to be P to A in the morning, A to P in the morning, P to A in the evening, A to P in the evening. For each of those other 7 cities, there have got to be 4 flights from A. Likewise, 4 from B, 4 from C. So from A, forgetting about the ABC interconnections. And so from A, we'll have 7 into 4, 28 flights. From B, there'll be 28. From C, there'll be 28. Now, we have not come to the idea of A, B, C being interconnected. That we have not touched upon at all. Right? So that is our idea from A to all 7, B to all 7, C to all 7. 28 into 3, 84 in the bag. Right? Now let's go to A, B, C. We need to have flights from A to B, B to C, C to A to B and B to A in the morning and evening. So 4 flights here, 4 flights here, 4 flights here, 12 more. A to B, B to A to C, C to A, B to C, C to B, morning and evening. Right? So that is required. So that gives us 12 more flights. 84 plus 12, 96. Right? Now let's think about it. Will this 96 satisfy our condition? Suppose you are worrying about P to Q. How will you go in the morning? You can go from P to A to Q, Q to B, B back to P. And so if there's only one hub, then if you can do P to A to Q, we might struggle to do Q to A to P. And so flights inwards and flights outwards, we might have to really start worrying about the timing of those flights. This way, we don't have to worry that much because there are 3 hubs. If one doesn't work, the other will work. I don't have to really sit and chart this. I can say all 7 flights land into A at 5 a.m. All 7 flights from A leave at 7. So anything can be connected through A in the morning. I can have a similar idea for B for the evening. So any 2 can be connected like that. A, B, B, C, C, A, we have direct flights to and from anyway. So if we have these 96 in place, then my underlying principle is going to be satisfied. This also gives us a method. So these are all constraints. And then there is an underlying principle. Let's take the constraint on board. Put all the number of flights, all the flights in place. Then with this number of flights, let's evaluate whether the underlying principle is satisfied. If it is not, then we'll have to add more flights, double flights, triple flights and all that. But let's not worry about the underlying principle at step 1. Let's see the conditions, make sure that we satisfy all the conditions given, find the number of flights, imagine these flight schedules, and then say, okay, with this flight combination, is the underlying principle satisfied? That's our approach. Right? So go to the next one. Again, give it a read. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half to check this, to read this, take that information in, and then we'll try to solve this. Once again, these are tough sets. If you have not tried these before, definitely try them. Don't try them kind of midstream in the video. If you're attending this class and trying this for the first time, and that's pressure, but somebody speaking over the headset or speaker all the time, the strand in which you're thinking might just be taken away by what I'm speaking. And it's very well possible that your method is better, more intuitive. It'll definitely be more intuitive to you. The natural way you have thought about this. So DILR is wonderful to do because we get to online, because we get to see all these charts and screen shares and how we can put this together. Having said that, it's also tricky because sometimes it doesn't give you the time to process this information. That's very vital. So if you have not tried this set, hit pause, try this, figure this out, answer the questions, and then come back and see if the answer is right, your thought process is right, and find all of that. Do not follow the video like you're listening to a new show without having tried this set. If I'm suddenly going to say, okay, this is a hub, and from there A to B to A, we need to count all of that morning and evening, we know all this. That means I've processed this. I'm trying to explain this in a reasonable time frame as intuitively as possible. So if you're not on board with the information, you're not already internalized the terms and definitions and G1 and G2 and all that, then following this is impossibly tough. And so the class is unlikely to be meaningful. It's going to be meaningless if you have not tried the set. So if you have not tried the set, hit pause, try the set, then hop on and see the solution. Don't just follow the class. It's not a song. And you can get value only if you have spent your time trying to crack this. Let's look at this. Suppose the 10 cities are divided into 4 distinct groups, G1, G2, G3, and G4, having 3, 3, 2, and 2 cities, adding up to 10. G1 consists of A, B, and C. Further, suppose that direct flights are allowed only between 2 cities, satisfying one of the following. Both cities are in G1, A and anything in G2, B and anything in G3, C and any city in G4. And then we come back to the underlying principle being satisfied. I'm going to follow the same approach. I'm going to say, look, let's just mark out the direct cities, direct flights, and satisfy these conditions using these conditions on board. And so A and any city in G1. G1, I've called them as, G2. I call the G21, G22, G23. First city in G2, second city in G2, third city in G2. Remember, if you are given this, these 3 cannot go to B and C, cannot go to G3 and G4. So, obviously, if you're linking these 3 only from A, we need to give all linkages, otherwise we are in trouble. So, what do I mean by that? A to G2, we need to have all 3 flights, G21, G22, G23. All 3 in the morning, all 3 in the evening. All 3 in the morning, both direction, all 3 in the evening, both directions. So A to G21, morning and evening, G21 to A, morning and evening, A to G22, morning and evening, G22 to A, morning and evening. Or A to here, you're talking about 12 flights. And we need all of these. If someone is broken, we cannot do this. If you have to go from G23 to G31, from G23, the only place you can go to is A. So the direct flight from G23 to A is not available. You're dead. We can't do anything else after that. So this we have to have. So same approach I'm going to follow. Given the conditions, what do we have to have? I'm going to put all of that. And then once we have all of that, we're going to worry whether the underlying principle is met. If it is, we're good. If it is not, then we'll have to add more flights. Right? So B to G31, same idea. The 4 flights to G31, 4 flights to and from G32. So B to here, there are 8 flights. C to here, there are 8 flights. 12 plus 8 plus 8. Now A, B, C, again we need all linkages because they are quasi hubs. Hubs not linked to everything, but to their regional hubs, local hubs. And so if the hubs are not linked together, you're in trouble. You can't go from G41 to G32 unless you have a mechanism to go from G41 to C, C to B, B to G32. That is not possible, then you're in trouble. Right? So all of them, AB, BA, morning and evening, AC, CA, morning and evening, BC, CB, morning and evening, all of them need to be there. That is another 12 flights. 12, 8, 8, 12. This 40 have to be there. With these 40, can we do every trip? Yes, we can. Think about it. Suppose you wanted to go from G21 to G42, G21 to A to C, C to G42. Possible. Return, possible. G42 to C, C to A to G21. So all linkages are possible if you have this 40. Or the minimum number of direct flights that satisfy the underlying principle is 40. So whenever you're given all these caveats, stick them in, use simple logic, get the minimum number in place, and then see if the minimum number will satisfy the underlying principle. If it will, you're through. Very similar question. Again, give it a read. We'll discuss that. The 10 cities are divided into 4 distinct groups, G1, G2, G3, G4, having 3, 3, 2, 2. G1 has A, B, and C. Both in G1, A to G2, B to G3, C to G4, all good. Fine. But at the end of it all, due to operational difficulties at A, there's some problem with A. Only flights that would operate at A would be those to and from B. Could have A to B, B to A, morning and evening. Only those are possible. Everything else are in trouble. Cities in G2 would be assigned to G3 or to G4. And what are the maximum reduction in the number of flights as compared to the situation before the operational difficulties arose? Think about this. I've mixed them arbitrarily. They're originally 2 and 2. I made it 4 and 3. 3 flights have been allocated. It would have been 3 and 4. It would have been 5 and 2. That does not really change the numbers. Let's take it in. Right? Once again, let's put all the flights that have to be in place in place. And so B to all 4 have to be in place. 4 into 4, 16. B to G21 morning and evening, G21 to B morning and evening. Likewise, C to all 3 morning and evening, the other way around. So 3 into 4, 12. 16 flights into this spot, 12 flights into this spot, to and from. B to C, C to B, there have to be 4 flights. Without that, we can't do anything. You can't go from G23 to G22. You have to go from G23 to C, C to B, and then to G22. A to B, again, we need to have all 4 flights. All 4 need to operate. Otherwise, we are in trouble. Right? So 16 plus 12 plus 4 plus 4 we need to have. This is B to G3, C to G4, BC, AB. All linkages. When you connect 2 cities, we put all 4. To and from morning, to and from evening. So this takes us to 32, 36. These have to be there. From 40, we are down to 36. But this 36 can we achieve our objective? Let's say we want to go from G23 to A, G23 to C, C to A to C, C to G23. That's possible. G42 to G22, G42 to C, C to B, B to G22, then G22 to B, B to C, C to G42. That's possible. So all the linkages are possible with 36 flights from 40. Less than 36 is not possible. So the maximum possible reduction from 40, we can go to 36. Fewer than 36 flights, we simply cannot do this. And wonderful question, classic tricky question, kind of question which I don't like going for. So in an exam context, I would look at this and say too many constraints, and I'm probably going to sidestep that. Try the next one. Interesting question. Once again, I'm going to give you some time to read this question. So have a go, try this, read this, take about 3-4 minutes. Then we'll jump in and discuss this. If you have not already read this, if you have not already tried this even before seeing the screen right now here, then now is the time to put pause on the video, take all this information, structure it in your way, in your mind, try to solve it completely, then come back and continue this video. Do not watch DILR solution videos without having tried the set. Just reading it and then following the solution. This is not like quant, is not like sentence correction or sentence rearrangement where you can process everything and then just go. I'm going to discuss the solution as someone who has spent half an hour trying to solve this and frame the solution. So I'm going to jump into my train of thought, how I organize this. So I'm going to talk something, I'm going to AM, MN, NB, and then jump like this. So this time, so you need to be familiar with AM and MN and NB and AIB and all of that. So for that, you should have not, you can't just read this. You should have tried to read it, internalize it, try to solve it, and then come back and see the solution. So to 3 minutes or 4 minutes of processing is simply not sufficient. You've got to read this, try to solve this extensively, get to a bunch of answers, and then continue with this. So don't rush this. Okay. Four cars need to travel from Akala to Bakala, A to B. Two routes are available, one via Mamur and another via Nanur. The roads from A to M and N to B are both short and narrow. In each case, one car takes 6 minutes to cover the distance, and each additional car increases the travel time per car by 3 minutes because of congestion. For example, if only 2 cars drive from A to M, each car takes 9 minutes. On the road from A to N, one car takes 20 minutes. Each additional car increases travel time per car by 1 minute. On the road from M to B, one car takes 20 minutes and each additional car increases travel time per car by 0.9. Interesting. There are two short trips, 6 plus 3, AM and NB. But these are narrow roads, so you pay a heavy price for congestion. Two are long roads, but the price for congestion is very small. So from A to B, we go via M or via N. AM is a bad road, NB is a bad road. This is broad but long. This is again broad but long. Incremental trouble here is less. So whether you have one car or 3 cars doesn't matter. 1 or 3 doesn't matter. Here it matters more and more. How many cars you choose matters more and more. Right? So wonderful. So we've got a broad framework. The police department orders each car to take a particular route in such a manner that it is not possible for any car to reduce its travel time by not following the order, while the other cars are following the order. This is a wonderful constraint to think about, very similar to what is called as, if you know the term, you should read upon this, it's Nash equilibrium. And what it means is, look, if I am taking this route and 3 guys are taking that route, and this is what the police have said, then one bad apple, the guy says, I won't take this route, I want to take this route. If he makes that decision, that backfires on him. Orders each car to take a particular route in such a manner that it is not possible for any car to reduce its travel time by not following the order, while the other cars are following the order. So if these 2 guys come here and this guy goes there, then the order might shift. There are 4 cars, A, B, C, D. If B, C, and D follow the rules, but A does something funny, then it should not be possible for A to do better. And so no guy should be able to unilaterally improve his time. They're not going to talk with each other and find a different solution. But the police is finding a way, a mechanism of allotting them that no guy can just say, okay, I'll just take the other route and save time. The beautiful way, beautiful constraint, a wonderful way of thinking about it. If there's a bad apple who doesn't listen to the policeman, then that bad apple will stand to lose. That's what this constraint means. If of A, B, C, and D, let's say P, Q, R, and S, A and B are already here. If P, Q, R, S are traveling from A to B, and the policeman says, okay, P, you need to take this route, Q, R, S, you take that route. The policeman says that. If P shifts his route, then he should be worse off. If Q shifts his route, he should be worse off. If R shifts his route, he should be worse off. If you change your route without the others changing, then you should lose out. That's the policeman idea. That's the route that the policeman come up with. Right? How many cars would be asked to take the route A and B by the police department? If all the cars follow the police order, what is the difference in travel time between a car which takes A and B and a car that takes A and B? And then as ever, we have more constraints for question 3 and 4. Thankfully, similar, one set of constraints is same. Right? So I'm going to do the first one. Right? I'm going to write this down differently. So what are we talking about here? Very simple. These two are our narrow, short, but bad routes. 6 for the first car, plus 3 for incremental car. One car is traveling 6, 2 cars 9 minutes for each, 3 cars 12 minutes for each, 4 cars 15 minutes for each. Here, 1 car 20 minutes, 2 cars 21, 3 cars 22, 4 cars 23. Here, 20, 20.9, 21.8, 22.7. Here, same 6, 9, 12, 15. So I've drawn this like this, right? So now we need to compare the routes. This is a second scenario for questions 3 and 4, and we'll come to that later on. How many cars would be asked to take the route A and B? Right? So let's think about this. Now, say this route, if all 4 cars go this way, then 0 cars go that way. A and B and A and B. 4 versus 0. It could be 0, 4. If 4 cars go this way, 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 15 minutes here. 20 plus 0.9 plus 0.9 plus 0.9, 22.7. If one of those cars shifting here, they'll have a massive advantage. They can finish it in 26 minutes. This 40 and 04 are absurd. Straight away you can sense that that's not possible. The two are similar routes. And so 6 and 3 conditions match. 20 and 1, 20 and 0.9. Not materially different. So the similar routes. So if I put 4 here, it's going to get congested. Each of them guys will have an incentive to go here. It's not 4, 0, 0, 4 that you can sense. It is likely to be 3, 1 or 1, 3 or 2, 2. What am I going to do? I'm going to find the time taken for each route like that. So A and B, 3 and 1, 2 and 2, 1 and 3. Right? So I'm going to find the time taken like that. Where 3 and 1, think about this, here to here, 3 people. That means this route will have 6 plus 3 plus 3 will take 12 minutes. That will take 21.8. 20 plus 0.9 plus 0.9. This route will take 20 plus 6, 26. So 12 plus 21.8 plus 33.8, 20 plus 6, 26. And so 3, 1 looks like that. Now, if somebody were to change the route, this guy here has changed the route, it becomes 4-0. We've already seen 4-0 is not great. There's no incentive to change from 4-0. The other change would be to take it to 2-2. From 3-1, we go to 2-2. That means if there's an incentive for this guy to shift, then 3-1 is not our answer, 2-2 could be our answer. That's how we're thinking about it. Let's think about 2-2. If there are 2 people like this, then this leg would take 9 minutes. This leg would take 20.9. This leg would take 21 minutes. This will take 9 minutes. So 9 plus 20.9, 29.9, 21 plus 9, 30. Now think about this. If this were the mechanism, from here we can go here. One guy going on A and B shifts to being A and B. One guy who should have taken this time will end up now taking this time. If this is possible, he will do it. So this is the wrong answer. 3-1 does not satisfy our underlying principle. If 3 to A and B and 1 to A and B, then the guys, any one of the guys in A and B could merely shift to A and B and save 3.8 minutes. So they will do it. So it's not sufficient. This guy shifting does not make sense because This guy shifting does not make sense. But A and B to A and B makes sense. So that's not the best case scenario. From 2, 2, we could go to 1, 3. One guy here goes here. A and B guys chooses A and B. Let's calculate the time. A and B is 1. The time taken would be 6 plus 20, 26. A and B is 3. That will be 22 plus 12 equals 34. This is 34, this is 26. From here to here, the shift comes because this A and B guy chooses to go to A and B. Now, will he do it? A and B takes 29.9. A and B will take 34. Shifting from this to this scenario to this scenario is not feasible. It's daft. They should not do it. So, from here, they won't shift here. They will not shift here. So 2 plus 2 is our answer. Or the number of people that have taken A and B. Wonderful question. So the possibilities are 3, 1, 2, 2 and 1, 3. That's it. So 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. All we need to see is to go from 3, 1 to 2, 2. If the police had given 3, 1, then we have to check whether there's an incentive for this guy to take this route. Guy was taking 33.8 minutes. Will he now prefer the route that takes 30 minutes? Of course, yes. That's not our answer. 2, 1 to 1, 3. Is there an incentive for this guy to go here? The guy was taking 29.9 minutes. Will he now choose a route that takes 34 minutes? Of course not. This is our answer. Okay. So the next one. If all the cars followed the police order, what is the difference in travel time between a car that takes A and B and a car that takes A and B? This is the police order. A and B would be 29.9 minutes. A and B is 30 minutes. Difference is 0.1 minutes. Return. Do question number 1. 2 is a freebie. If we found this out, it is 2 plus 2. All we have to do is 30 minus 29.9. You got that in the bag. Try this one. This is properly tough. Reimagine this. Think about the diagram and then figure that out. I'm going to give you some time. Read this constraint. Give this a go. Then we'll discuss it. The constraint here is very interesting. I like this question because these are real life scenarios. And so very often we say, okay, should I take this route? Should I change that? If I change this route and everybody has taken this decision and detour, this is going to be really bad. Might as well hang in here and go through the congestion. Do I take a detour or not? To go through the roundabout route or grin and bear the congestion? That's a decision. And very real life, especially if you're living in Chennai or wonderful Bangalore. I recently visited Bangalore. I love the place. The energy, the enthusiasm that people have, fabulous. Bangalore traffic makes you want to run back to Chennai. But that's not new information. Everybody in the world knows that Bangalore traffic is horrendous. Let's have a look at this. A new one-way road is built from M to N. Wonderful. Each car now has 3 possible routes to travel from A to B. AMB, ANB, AMNB. Remember, we are not being told that we can go from N to M. It is only M and B, not N and B. Remember that. There are only 3 routes available, not 4. Presumably, this M and route is a one-way route. You can go from M to N. M to N, one car takes 7 minutes, and each additional car increases the travel time per car by 1 minute. Now, we know this. We know this language. 7 plus 1. Assume that any car taking AM and B route travels the AM portion at the same time as the other cars taking the AMB route. Like 2 cars start from A, one goes by MB, other goes as M and B. both of them are going to pay the penalty for the AM leg. That's what he's saying. So AMB, AMNB, you can't say they're two different cars, they're starting slightly one after the other, congestion price won't be there, none of that. AMB and AMNB are there, then the congestion is there. How many cars would the police department order to take the AMNB route so that it is not possible for any car to reduce its travel time by not following the order? Basically, if you're a bad apple, you should not be able to get away with it. If the policeman is saying take AMNB and then you say, chuck it, I'm taking AMB, then you should end up spending more time on the road. You should be a good citizen and you'll have a good payoff. If you screw around and take a so-called shortcut, you'll be in trouble. We're trying to find a solution which is like that. So first up, we're drawing this so that we make sense of that. Now we're going to do the same approach. There it was just 1, 3, and 3, 1, and 2, 2. Now there are more. Right? Before that, let's make sense of this. Think about this. This MB will take 20 plus something. MNB takes 7 plus 6, 13 plus something. When there's a congestion, you pay 3. Twice over, you get 6. Thrice, you get 9. So it looks like this is the base number here for M and B is 13, and then the congestion comes. But the base number here is 20. So prima facie, it looks like MB is inferior to MNB unless a lot of vehicles are going here and coming from here, so that this becomes very bad. It's one car by this route or one car by this route. Quite possible this is always going to be better. So M and B, it's credible. What are we going to do? We're going to do the same thing that we did before. Fine. So I'm sensing that M and B is good, whereas A and B is less good. So A and B, AM and B. So I'm going to start with AM and B having 2, this having 1, this having 1. There's only one car, you get a lot of congestion benefits. And so why should you not enjoy that? So I've split it as A and B, AM and B, A and B. 1, 2, 1. And so now let's see how we can tweak this. 1, 2, 1. One guy going through A and B. Remember, only one guy, but 3 of them start from here. So 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12 minutes for the first leg. And then only 20 for the second leg, 32. AM and B, 12 minutes for the first leg, and then 8 for the second leg. Remember, 8 here was 7 plus 1, 2 vehicles going. And then here will be 6 plus 3 plus 3, because there's 1 vehicle coming from here and 2 from here. 2 plus 1, 3 vehicles, 6, 9, 12. Or 12 plus 8 plus 12, 32 minutes. The A and B route, 20 plus 12, 32 minutes. This is what 1, 2, 1. Now, a bunch of things can happen. The A and B can choose to go to A and B. AM and B can choose to shift to A and B. A and B can choose to go to AM and B. That's not possible because this guy going here, 130, that's also possible. This going here, all of these are possible from this nice interesting version. What am I going to think about? One wonderful thing to think about is if I have somebody going by A and B, the A and B route is 20, there's only one guy going, plus 6 or 9 or 12 depending on the condition, which will also be available for here. So my gut feel says that I'll have somebody going here. I think that I might choose AM and B over A and B, but I'm going to have some A and B coming in. I think my answer is going to have a non-zero number for each route. That's my gut feel, which is why I've started with 1, 2, 1 and not with a 0, 0 something or 0, 4, 0, 3, 1. And now I'm going to verify other possibilities. And let's say 0, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So if you try 1, 2, 1, my gut feel is if you're putting 1, 2, 1, you should try to put 2, 1, 1 and 1, 1, 2. That's the most likely. Then the 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, 2 will try that. Try them. And so I'm going to write down these possibilities. Once I've listed a few possibilities as a short list and write down the time taken, I'll get more of a feel for how this is going. So I'm going to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. I'm going to try for sure. Because one aspect of my mind is saying I'll have at least one guy traveling in each route. It could be wrong, but that's what I'm going to start with. And then I'll get a feel for which is the worst route. I'll try to dump that and retain the other two and do a 0, 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, some variant, 0, 2, 2, some variant like. Right? So jump in and try to solve this. And super. 0, 3, 1. So there's nobody through this route, no point of calculating time. 3, 6 plus 3 plus 3, 12 minutes for this. 7 plus 1 plus 1, 9 minutes for this. All four go this way. So 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 15. So 20 plus 12 plus 9 plus 15, 36. Okay. This route A and B would be 20 plus 15, 35. The moment I do the 0, I realize if A and B were 0, then all four are going here. There's going to be a 15 that comes here. If one of these, if A, M, B were 0, then all four are going here. In this last leg, there's a 15 sitting there. 15 minutes is a lot of time for the narrow leg because these two are going to be 20. 20 plus is given. This goes to 15, I'm straight away in trouble because I'm at 35. So I've already seen 32s. I find at 35, 36, I'm in trouble. So I'm already sensing that my zeros are not going to work. The moment I put A, M, B or A, N, B to 0, right, then I'll have a 4-vehicle thing going either here or here, depending on which one I'm picking. If I put A and B to 0, then there's 4 vehicles here. If I put this to 0, there are 4 vehicles here. And so somewhere the 4-vehicle thing is going to come. Maybe I can put A, M, N, B to 0, but you've already seen that M and B is slightly better than MB if there's only one vehicle somewhere. And so I'm already convinced that 0 will not be there. And so let's do a 2, 1, 1. 2 through this and 1, 1 through this. 6, 3 vehicles here, 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12. And then at 20.9. 1, so 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12. Plus 7. Plus 9, because 2 vehicles in the last leg. 12 plus 7 plus 9. That's brilliant. It's a lot lesser than a very good number. And then 20 plus 9, 29. Once again, a brilliant number. This 32.9 is also brilliant. And so this is the possibility. Let's go to 1, 1, 2. 1, 1. So the 2 vehicles here. 9 plus 20, 29. Good number. This is 9 plus 7, 16 plus 9. Sorry, plus 12. 6 plus 3 plus 3. So 9 here plus 7 plus 12, 16 plus 12, 28. Again, a wonderful number. This will be 21 plus 12. This leg becomes 12 because there are 3 vehicles. 21 plus 12, 33. 0, 2, 2. The moment I put a 0, I'm going to have some 15 sitting there. There's a 15 here and there's a 15 here. So straight away, the 15s are going to kill my score. I'm not such a big fan. So now I'm going to investigate this deeper. And so 1, 2, 1 can become 2, 1, 1 if this fellow shifts here. So from here to here, is there an incentive to shift? No, there is not. So if you're at 1, 2, 1, you will not shift to 2, 1, 1. Remember, these 2 times are better, really good. But I'm not going to shift from here to here. This takes more time. And that is the shift to take from here to here. Will the opposite way happen? 2, 1, 1 to 1, 2, 1. That means will this guy shift here? Will the AMB guy go to AMNB? 32.9 to 32. Yes, he will. The other two might be staggeringly good. But this 32.9, he will go to 32. Of course he will. He can save time, he'll make that shift. So this is not our answer. This could be our answer. Let's verify this. 112. From here to here, we go if A, M, and B shifts to A and B. Will this number go to this number? He won't. Will this number go to this number? Yes, he will. This is not our answer. This is possible. These two are not our answer. 0, 3, 1. This guy can shift and go here. Yeah, he will. That's out. 0, 2, 2. This guy can shift from here to here. That might not happen. But this guy can shift from here to here to take it to a 1, 2, 1. Yeah, that will definitely happen. Or the moment you have a 36 or a 35, that won't work. So 1, 2, 1 works brilliantly. Wonderful question. 3 roots. We're thinking of different scenarios. We're trying out different possibilities. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. We like. The 0, 3, 1s and 0, 2, 2s, we like less because there's going to be a 15-minute leg. That automatically takes us to the 35-minute range. So we don't want those. And so this is the route. 1, 2, 1. One guy taking the A and B route. 2 guys taking the A, M, and B route. 1 person taking A and B. Let's go to the question. Question here. How many cars would the police department order to take the A, M, and B route? This is 2. Done. Last question hopefully will be just a derivative of this. We're not doing much more computation after this. The whole story, same story as question number 3. At the end of it, if all the cars follow this, then what is the minimum travel time from A to B? All the cars follow this, then we are going for this. The travel time is 32, 32, 32. All 3 at 32. Minimum travel time is 32. We're looking for 32 minutes. Fine. Wonderful question. It is the understanding that last statement is crucial, and where they say that there should be no incentive for you to shift. If you did shift, that means you're becoming worse off. That's a critical point. If you go and say, look, I've been allotted A and B, screw you, I'm going to A, M, and B, then it should cost you time. It should take you more time if you shift. That's the underlying principle in this question. Brilliant idea, brilliant question, and properly classically tough. Given above is the schematic map of the metro lines in a city, which with rectangles denoting terminal stations, diamond denoting junction stations, and small filled up circles denoting other stations. Look at the diagram. Terminal, junction, and other stations. Each train runs either in the east-west or the north-south direction, but not both. Nice, they don't do this. All trains stop for 2 minutes at each of the junction stations on the way, and 1 minute at each of the other stations. It takes 2 minutes to reach the next station for trains going in east-west direction, and 3 minutes for north-south direction. So here in this direction, it is 3 minutes between stations. In this direction, it is 2 minutes between stations. 1 minute stop at normal stations, 2 minutes at junction stations. From each terminal station, the first train starts at 6 a.m. The last trains leave the terminal stations at midnight. Nice. Otherwise, during the service hour, there are metro service every 15 minutes in the north-south line, every 10 minutes in the east-west lines. North-south is every 15. East-west is every 10. So there will be a train starting at 6, at 6:10, at 6:20, at 6:30 from here and here, and at 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45 and so on here in this axis, both directions. A train must rest for at least 15 minutes after completing a trip. It's tired. Before it can undertake the next trip in the reverse direction. So come from P to Q, I think, and then go back from Q to P. All questions are related to this metro service only. Assume that if someone reaches a station exactly at the time of a train is supposed to leave, he or she can catch a train. The train is leaving at 10:58. I run in, I can get it. Somebody will pull me in rather climatically, wonderfully. And so, nice. And all trains stop for 2 minutes at the end of the junction stations on the way and for 1 minute at each of the other stations. So 2 minutes at junction, 1 minute at others. Just capturing the data. And 2 minutes between stations, train every 10 minutes. 3 minutes between stations, train every 15 minutes. This is the east-west equation, the north-south equation. Right. So just grab the data on, we can't really solve anything and simplify and get a grid and answer. We have to jump through to the questions. First train start at 6, last trains at midnight. If Hari is ready to board a train at 8:05 a.m. from station M, then when is the earliest he can reach station N? M to N. From M to N. 8:05 he is ready to board here at station M. What is the earliest he can reach station N? Right. Nice. So he'll take the straight train here. Right. All we've got to do is, he can't catch it at 8:05. He'll probably grab it only at 8:10. That's when the first train. First train leaves at 8. Second train will leave at 8:10. Because train every 10 minutes in the east-west axis. 2 minutes between stations. I'm going to calculate this. So there are 3 stations here. Say 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 here. 3 plus 9, 12 plus 5, 17. Plus 2, 19 stations. So 20 gaps from first to end. 20 into 2, 40 minutes. Just a travel time. Nice. Now we need to think about waiting time. How much time does it take to wait? 3 plus 9 plus 5. This is 12 plus 5, 17 minutes of waiting. 3 plus 9, 12 plus 5, 17 minutes of waiting. Plus 2, 4 minutes of waiting. Which is 21 plus 40, 61 minutes. So the moment he boards on to this, 61 minutes later he can reach there. What time does he board on? He can't get on board at 8:05. The earliest he can get on board is 8:10. 8:10 plus 61 minutes. 8:10 and 60 minutes is 9:10. 61 minutes is 9:11. And nice, simple, juicy one to get out of the way, to get comfortable with this. Now we have to register these numbers. 3 stations here, 3 here, 9 here, 5 here. And then we do from one chunk to another, how long does it take to travel, all of that. And so 2 minutes between stations in this axis, 3 minutes between stations in this axis. If Priya is ready to board a train at 10:25 from station T, what is the earliest that she can reach station S? From T to S. Right? She is boarding at 10:25. She wants to reach station S. Right? First of all, she can either go like this and then like this, or like this and like this. Right? I'm going to think in terms of what will be the train that comes to T first. Right? But before that, I understood that there are 9 stations here. Right? So we can say T to V, how long does it take? In between 2 minutes between stations, 10 such stations. 10 to 2, 20, 10 such distances, 10 to 2, 20, plus 9 waiting times. This stretch takes 29 minutes. This stretch, 1, 2, 3, 3 into 3, 9, plus 2, 11 minutes. This stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 into 3, 12, 12 plus 3, 15 minutes. This stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 into 2, 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes. So we can calculate each of these stretches and keep them, because we're going to use them in some form or other. First of all, we're going to think about from T to S, is it TVS or TRS, which is better? Right? For which we need to find the train that comes to T, because it's at 10:25. And so P to T is 11 minutes. Starting at here, a train starts every 10 minutes. So at 8 there will be a train starting, at 8:10 there will be a train starting, at 8:20 there will be a train starting. So train going in this direction will come at 8:11, 8:21, 8:31. The earliest in this direction is 8:31. This way, how does it work? There will be a train starting at 8 and then 8:15. This stretch again is 11 minutes. We've computed that. So it's 8:11 or 8:26. If I come, if it is 8, it is 11 and 26. If it is 10, 10:25, it is 10:11 and 10:26. Straight away, I know that if I take go like this, I start at 10:26. If I go like this, I start at 10:31. I've written 8. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to simplify that for myself. 10:31, whereas this axis is 10:26. 10:26 seems juicier, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to start with that. So with the 10:26, then this stretch takes 15 minutes. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 into 3, 12 plus 3 waiting times, 15 minutes. So it comes here at 10:26. He boards that at 10:26, which is rather nice. And then it's a 15-minute stretch, but there's a 2-minute waiting time at T. Because T is still a junction station, not a terminal station. So I start at 10:15. I arrive at T at 10:26. I leave from T at 10:28. Take 15 minutes to reach this point. 10:28 plus 15, 38, 10:43. So I'll be here at 10:43, and then I'll have to take a right and go along that direction. That is my TRS route. And so from 10:25, I board at 10:26. It leaves at 10:28 plus 15, 10:43. I'm here, which is rather nice because my train in this direction will come at 10:41, will wait for 2 minutes. So at 10:43 I come, I can still board the train. So at 10:43 I'll board at R, which is brilliant, which is super useful for me because now I know there's no waiting time at R at all. So I can ignore this route. As it is, I'm 5 minutes behind. There's a long waiting time at R. I'll have to worry about, is there a shorter waiting time at V? No, I don't wait because there's no waiting time at R. This is my preferred route. At 10:43 I leave from R. From R to S is 29 minutes. How do I know that? 10 into 2, 20, 10 distances of 2 each, 20, plus 9 stoppages. At 10:43, I leave from R. I board R at 10:43. I leave from R at 10:43 because it has come to R at 10:41. From 10:43, 29 more minutes, I'll be at S and I need to reach S. 10:43 plus 29, 10:43 plus 17 is 11 o'clock, plus 12 more, 11, 12. I can expect to be here. My route is TRS because my BT train comes within 1 minute of reaching, whereas my PT train takes 6 minutes. So I can start sooner if I come here. And if I take this option, I'm practically not waiting at R. I get out of my station, run and board the other station and head out. So both ways it works brilliantly. So 11, 12 is the answer I'm looking for. Hopefully that will be there in the choices. It is there. Haripriya is expected to reach station S late. I didn't understand this question. Late as in what late? What is 2 a.m. late or 6 p.m. late or 11 a.m. late? What is the latest time which we must be ready to board at S? If she must reach station B before 1 a.m. via station R. So she has to come here and come here. She has to reach B before 1 a.m. This question is basically saying work backwards, right? This is 1 a.m. I know this stretch is 11 minutes. This stretch is 15 minutes. 11 plus 15, 26 plus 2 minutes waiting time here, 28 minutes. From the moment I'm at R, 28 minutes I can reach here. And so if I want to reach here by 1 a.m., I need to be at R by 12:32. I need to board by 12:32 because 15 minutes of travel plus 2:17 plus 11:28, I'll reach by 1 sharp. 12:32. The last train from here leaves at 12, which will come here at 12:11. There is no 12:32 train. to go from A via R to B. That's not possible. So forget about that. So the 12:32 timeline is ruled out. I won't reach at 1 a.m. I'll reach a little sooner than 1 a.m. I have to, otherwise I'm in trouble. So what is the last moment I can board this train at R? R is 11 minutes from A. So 12:11 is when the last train comes here. So if I can board that train, then I'm reaching way before 1. And I cannot catch a train after that because there is no train starting after that from A towards B. So the train that arrives here at 12:11, that's the one I want to grab. Right? Or if I think about it slightly differently, I have to be at R by 12:11 to 12:13. Why? Because this train ARB will wait for 2 minutes at R. So even if I reach by 12:13, I'm fine. So my aim now is to reach R by 12:13. She must be ready to board at station S. So we are looking to board the NSRM train at station S, looking to be here by 12:11 or latest by 12:13. 12:11 is it? I want only the latest time, like I'm playing with the margins. So from S to R is 29 minutes that I know. So 29 minutes before 12:13 is when I have to board. 12:13 minus half an hour is 11:43. 29 is 11:44. If I board from here at 11:44, at S I get out, I board at 11:42 or at 11:44 it leaves S. It leaves S at 11:44. Then I'm still covered because I leave at 11:44. 29 minutes I take, it will be 12:13. 16 plus 13, 29. 12:13 it is about to leave from R. I can reach here. That's the last train leaving at R. So leaving at 11:44 from S, I'm still covered. Right? So N to S is 17 minutes. On this axis, we have a train every 10 minutes. So we have a train coming at 11:7, 11:17 at S. And at N, leaving at 11, 11:10, 11:20, 11:30, plus 17 minutes, 11:17, 11:27, 11:37, all of that. So a train coming at 11:37 to S, I should catch. 11:47 at S, I can't catch. So I'm looking to catch the 11:37 train at S. What is the latest time which we must be ready to board on station S? The 11:37 train, but not 11:37, but 11:39, because it is going to come at 11:37 here and then wait for 2 minutes. Let it become 11:39 and then reach here and then come back here. And so there's no constraint here because I'll reach way before 1 a.m. This constraint here, I should be before 12:13. I start any time before 11:44, I'm good. The train arrives there at 11:37. I cannot catch 11:47, I'll be late. I'll have to catch 11:37, but I can catch 11:37 at 11:39. I catch at 11:39, I'll be here on time, I'm through. The last time you can reach by at 11:39 p.m. What are the minimum number of trains that are required to provide the service on the AB line, considering both north and south directions? Oh, nice. AB line, start from A, think about going to B. Let's think about how long it takes. Right? So this is 11 minutes. This is 15 minutes. This is 11 minutes. 11 plus 15 is 26. 26 plus 11 is 37. 22 plus 15, 37 minutes of this leg, this leg, this leg. What am I missing here? I'm clearly missing a 2-minute wait time here and a 2-minute wait time here. So 11 plus 11 plus 15 plus 4, 22, 37, 41 minutes, which is brilliant. So 41 minutes and I can go from A to B. The train needs a 15-minute wait time before it can start functioning. So 41 plus 15 is 56. So if I start a train at 6 a.m. here, that train is ready to start from here at 6:56. Not before that. It'll reach here by 6:41, but at 6:56 he's ready to go back. Not before that. He needs just 15 minutes rest. So my 6 a.m. train should start from here. From starting from B, my 6 o'clock train will start. There's a train every 15 minutes here. My 6:15 train has to start. That has to be a new train. My 6:30 train has to start. That's a new train. My 6:45 train has to start. That's a new train. My 7 a.m. train can be the train that started at A. That means from B, I'll need 4 trains to start before the first train from A comes here and is ready to leave. Not just comes here, it should also be ready to leave. So 6:15, 6:30 and 6:45, I should be ready to start from B before the guy who came from A to B is ready to fire and go. So 4 trains I need to go from B before the first train from A to here is ready to reinforce. Likewise, 4 from here, 4 plus 4, 8 trains are required. To provide the service in the city for A, say, for the AB line, how many trains are required? 4 plus 4, 8 trains required totally. What is the minimum number of, say, what is the minimum number of trains that are required to provide the service in this whole city? The AB line is 8 trains. The CD line is 8 trains. These two we have done. If we can crack this, we are through. Multiply that by 2, we are through. Right? From P to T is 11 minutes. T to V is 29 minutes. V to Q is 17 minutes. That's 17 there. So 11 plus 29 plus 17 plus 4. 2 minute waiting time here, 2 minute waiting time here. Add all of this up. 11 plus 29 is 40. 40 plus 21 is 61. Apart from this, there's a 15 minute wait time. So from P to Q is 76 minutes. Or the train that starts from P at 6 a.m. is ready to start from Q at 7:16. 60 plus 16. Oops. So from Q, we need to have a train starting at 6, 6:15, 6:30. Here it starts every 10 minutes. 6, 6:10, 6:20, 6:30, 6:40, 6:50, 6:60, which is 7, 7:10. The 7:20 train can be this one. So 76 minutes or 8 trains. We start from 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 8 trains need to start from Q before the first train that happened to start from P is ready at Q for the return journey. So this 8 from here, 8 from here. This line requires 16. This line requires 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. 8 plus 8 is 16. 32 plus 16. 48 trains are required totally to service this city. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant set. Super tough.